I see a martial artist is like a cat. Not like a dog, but a cat. A fighter is like a violent, vicious dog. You know, a cat is like a martial artist. Now, if you watch Bruce Lee's movie Way of the Dragon when he's fighting Chuck Norris, you'll see that the camera goes to, starts focusing on a cat. And then you start seeing a cat like playing. And then you see Bruce Lee, the vocals that he makes, the noises he makes, it's like a loud screeching noise. Like, it sounded like a cat. So you notice, he sounds like a cat, he fights like a cat, and he had that image in that fighting scene to show that he's fighting like a cat. And you notice that cats, how they are. A cat will never be as strong as the strongest dog. It's impossible. They're not built that way. But you notice a cat, they don't bother people unless you bother them. They don't fight back unless you bother them. So a cat is naturally defensive. You're not going to have like the police train a bunch of cats and then let the cats off onto the attacker or to the criminal. No. They train dogs. They don't train cats. So cats are defensive. And martial arts is for defense. It's not for bullying. It's not for hey, let's just go ahead and beat up a bunch of people. It's not like that. Martial arts is for defense. When you're really in danger, that's when you use it. Alright? And who needs martial arts? Who needs defense? A lot of times it's the women. The women are the ones that should be leading the martial arts. Not the men, but the women. But the men just boss hogged the martial arts away from the women, and now it's just filled up with a bunch of testosterone and ego, all filled up with men. It's not supposed to be like that. It's kind of like yoga. Say you see yoga and there's a bunch of women in there. There's 50 women and one man train, in the yoga studio. Imagine if the men just boss hog the yoga and now it's all men and there's no women. Well, the way that's how martial arts should be. It should pretty much be all women, most women. It should be women in the martial arts and men that may be smaller, weaker. And that's why Yip Man and the Wing Chun community wanted it to stay within the Chinese, because Chinese people, Asian people in general, are very small. I mean, you got the average height for Chinese people that might be 5'5" or 5'4". And what's the average height of Asian or whites and blacks? Probably 6'2". So clearly there's a height differentiation and a weight differentiation. You got a Chinese person that might weigh 120 pounds. Bruce Lee himself only weighed 125 pounds before he passed away. And how much do these white people and these black people weigh? A lot of them weigh over 190 pounds, maybe 200 pounds or more. So martial arts is supposed to be for the women, it's supposed to be for the men that are smaller, the men that are weaker, the people that are defensive. It's not supposed to be for the bigger, larger people that you find in pro wrestling, the steroid-injected bodybuilders, and the football players and all this. It's not supposed to be for them. And that's what the stupid cage fighting is doing, is training all the people to be stronger bullies. Training all the big people to even be bigger and stronger. What are you doing? You're supposed to train the small people to defend themselves against the big people. So that's essentially what martial arts is supposed to be for. Now, you got these dogs, these vicious dogs. That's like the cage fight. That's not martial arts. That's just that's more like combat sport and just straight brutal. You train like a pit bull to just be out to kill. That's not martial arts. And you see a lot of these cage fighters, that's how they fight. They're like pit bulls, just trained to kill. And that's not martial arts. Martial arts is more graceful. It's fluid. and there's an element of peace in it. They don't want to fight unless they really have to. Like a cat will run from danger if the cat can. It's not gonna like be like a pit bull looking for like a fight. Like you don't even bother the pit bull, and they want to like kill you. They want to destroy you, even though you don't bother them. They just want to destroy you. That's how the cage fighters are. They're like pit bulls. That's not martial arts. Martial arts is like for like the cats. They don't bother nobody unless they feel that they're in danger. Now I'm not speaking against dogs or all dogs. I mean, there's a lot of cute little fluffy dogs out there that are very soft and gentle, and you know, a lot of people love dogs. I like dogs too, but I'm just saying that when you breed a dog to kill and hurt people, like some of these pit bulls, that's pretty much what the cage fighting is. And we're breeding human beings to be like pit bulls, to just go out and kill. And that's not martial arts. I want to make that clear to people that's not martial arts. I want to also make it clear that martial arts is not supposed to be for like people that are already strong. Now you're making them even stronger, so then the people that are weak, now they're even more oppressed. Martial arts should be promoted to women. It should be promoted to men that are intelligent. It should be promoted to men that are weaker. It should be promoted to men that are smaller. It should be promoted to men that are a lot more gentle, more loving, more compassionate. That's the people that it should be promoted to. Not to the violent, crazy bullies and the pit bull people out there that just want to go out there and destroy people just because they can. Those are the people that should not be trained. So I just want people to know the difference. People that don't study the stuff, they think that, oh, you know, this cage fighting stuff is martial arts. It's not martial arts. It's like calling a hockey fight martial arts, or calling like the when the people are playing soccer and then they get mad at each other and there's a big brawl in the soccer field. It's like calling that martial arts. That's not martial arts at all. It's just a bunch of people being violent. It's not martial arts. Okay? Like the movie Fight Club. It's like calling that martial arts. That's not martial arts. Okay? Brad Pitt is not a martial arts. Either is Edward Norton or whatever. They're not martial artists. And all the people in that movie that are brawling out there in that movie, they're not martial artists. Martial arts movies, Bruce Lee movies, okay, Jet Li movies, Tony Jaa movies, even Jackie Chan movies. There's always like an element of peace, element of gracefulness. There's an element of philosophy to try to reach out to you, to teach you something. That's martial arts, okay? Action flicks like Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger, just like blowing people's heads, like blasting their heads open and just like killing a bunch of people, blood flying everywhere. That's not martial arts, okay? The movie Spartan, you know, like this huge ego thing, just like cutting people's heads off. That's not martial arts, okay? You know, Saving Private Ryan and all these war movies like Thin Red Line, or those movies are, it's not martial arts. So please, like, understand the difference between martial arts and just pure like action and like glorification of violence. Please understand the difference, okay? And don't call something martial arts when it's not. Please don't call this cage fighting crap martial arts. Call it what it is. A bunch of men trying to rape each other in a cage. That's what it is, okay? CFR, cage fighting rapists. Call it that. Don't call it MMA. CFR, cage fighting rapist. What do you practice? Cage fighting rapist. Okay, that's what you practice. You don't practice MMA. You're a cage fighting rapist. Call it that. Call it something more specific to what it is, opposed to like confusing people. Okay, all right. That's the thing that I have a problem with. Using these labels in incorrect ways. Now you destroy the entire label in its entirety. Just like you have like good police officers out there, and then you got the bad ones, and then now it destroys the whole police field. because you got corrupted police officers within the real police officers, and then you don't know who's who. So that's kind of what's going on. You know, let's use these labels the way that it should be. Don't call something martial arts when it's not martial arts. Okay, call it what it is. Alright?